creators. What does Kokoro mean? In Japanese, Kokoro is a unique word that captures the combined meaning of heart, body, mind, and soul, all in one. It's a word that speaks to the wholeness of who we are. We have lovingly Americanized the pronunciation of Kokoro with the emphasis of core in the center, because the heart is in the center of everything we do. Why is Kokoro so important? Because the pain, chaos, and overwhelm we experience as humans often comes from being disconnected and out of alignment, when our heart, mind, and body are not working together in harmony. At Kokoro Creators, we believe the path to peace, purpose, and powerful relationships begins by reconnecting those parts within ourselves. When we integrate the mind and the body, we restore alignment with the heart and soul as we return to our center. Only then can we create authentic, meaningful connections with others from a place of wholeheartedness, from the inside out. Aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with mental chaos and self-doubt. Let me show you how this paradigm shift empowered me to break free and step into living my purpose. When I first felt called to create something meaningful, all I could hear was the mental noise telling me I wasn't enough, I wasn't adequate, I wasn't qualified. But deep down, something inside of me refused to give up. Despite the inadequacy I felt, I started taking small intentional steps toward my dream, even when it didn't make sense. One of those steps was growing a garden. Yes, really. And in that quiet stillness, I was intuitively taught, layer by layer, an internal operating system that quieted the mental noise, that rewired my mindset, and empowered me to overcome the mental chaos and self-doubt. Now, I teach that system to others. The Kokoro Problem-Solving Mini-Course is your first step on your transformation journey. This is a high-impact 2-hour experience designed to empower you to quiet the mental noise, to recognize sabotaging versus empowering thoughts, and to discover the answers inside of you so that you can fearlessly face the future with unstoppable confidence. You don't need to hustle harder. You need a clear step-by-step path back to your inner wisdom. The truth is that you matter, and the world needs what you alone can give. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready to step into your power? Click the link below to take the first step of the Kokoro transformation journey. Are you an aspiring entrepreneur that feels called to do something big, but you feel small and you keep getting stuck in hesitation and overthinking and self-doubt? You have a vision, a dream, a purpose that won't let go. But when it's time to take action, you freeze, fearing launching your business or putting yourself out there or sharing your ideas. You might have spent weeks or even years trying to perfect every little detail, only to feel more overwhelmed. You fear making mistakes and being embarrassed, so you hesitate taking action. You hold back your ideas, afraid that they're not good enough. You tell yourself, I just need one more day, one more thing to learn this or do that. But deep down, you know that waiting isn't solving the problem. What if you could learn a different mindset that would help you shift toward confidence so that fear doesn't hold you back anymore? The truth is that there is no perfect plan and there is no perfect timing, but there is a way to learn to trust yourself, to take one baby action step at a time. That's exactly what you will get inside the Problem-Solving Mini-Course. a step-by-step action plan designed to empower you to break free from overwhelm and self-doubt, to learn to make clear, confident decisions, to take action without waiting for permission or fearing making mistakes. It's time to stop thinking and start taking baby steps toward your hoped-for, desired vision. Your dreams are waiting. Your vision is waiting. Are you ready to claim your power? Visit howtoownyourownmind.com to learn more. Welcome to Kokoro, creators. What does Kokoro mean? In Japanese, Kokoro is a unique word that captures the combined meaning of heart, body, mind, and soul, all in one. It's a word that speaks to the wholeness of who we are. We have lovingly Americanized the pronunciation of Kokoro with the emphasis of core in the center, because the heart is in the center of everything we do. Why is Kokoro so important? Because the pain, chaos, and overwhelm we experience as humans often comes from being disconnected and out of alignment, when our heart, mind, and body are not working together in harmony. At Kokoro Creators, we believe the path to peace, purpose, and powerful relationships begins by reconnecting those parts within ourselves. When we integrate the mind and the body, we restore alignment with the heart and soul as we return to our center. Only then can we create authentic, meaningful connections with others from a place of wholeheartedness, from the inside out. Aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with mental chaos and self-doubt. Let me show you how this paradigm shift empowered me to break free and step into living my purpose. When I first felt called to create something meaningful, all I could hear was the mental noise telling me I wasn't enough, I wasn't adequate, I wasn't qualified. But deep down, something inside of me refused to give up. Despite the inadequacy I felt, I started taking small, intentional steps toward my dream, even when it didn't make sense. One of those steps was growing a garden. Yes, really. And in that quiet stillness, I was intuitively taught, layer by layer, an internal operating system that quieted the mental noise, that rewired my mindset, and empowered me to overcome the mental chaos and self-doubt. Now, I teach that system to others. The Kokoro Problem-Solving Mini-Course is your first step on your transformation journey. This is a high-impact 2-hour experience designed to empower you to quiet the mental noise, to recognize sabotaging versus empowering thoughts, and to discover the answers inside of you so that you can fearlessly face the future with unstoppable confidence. You don't need to hustle harder. You need a clear step-by-step path back to your inner wisdom. The truth is that you matter, and the world needs what you alone can give. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready to step into your power? Click the link below to take the first step of the Kokoro transformation journey. Are you an aspiring entrepreneur that feels called to do something big, but you feel small and you keep getting stuck in hesitation and overthinking and self-doubt? You have a vision, a dream, a purpose that won't let go. But when it's time to take action, you freeze, fearing launching your business or putting yourself out there or sharing your ideas. You might have spent weeks or even years trying to perfect every little detail, only to feel more overwhelmed. You fear making mistakes and being embarrassed, so you hesitate taking action. You hold back your ideas, afraid that they're not good enough. You tell yourself, I just need one more day, one more thing to learn this or do that. But deep down, you know that waiting isn't solving the problem. What if you could learn a different mindset that would help you shift toward confidence so that fear doesn't hold you back anymore? The truth is that there is no perfect plan and there is no perfect timing, but there is a way to learn to trust yourself, to take one baby action step at a time. That's exactly what you will get inside the problem-solving mini course. A step-by-step action plan designed to empower you, to break free from overwhelm and self-doubt, to learn to make clear, confident decisions, to take action without waiting for permission or fearing making mistakes. It's time to stop thinking and start taking baby steps toward your hoped-for, desired vision. Your dreams are waiting. Your vision is waiting. Are you ready to claim your power? Visit howtoownyourownmind.com to learn more. Welcome to Kokoro, creators. What does Kokoro mean? In Japanese, Kokoro is a unique word that captures the combined meaning of heart, body, mind, and soul, all in one. It's a word that speaks to the wholeness of who we are. We have lovingly Americanized the pronunciation of Kokoro with the emphasis of core in the center, because the heart is in the center of everything we do. Why is Kokoro so important? Because the pain, chaos, and overwhelm we experience as humans often comes from being disconnected and out of alignment, when our heart, mind, and body are not working together in harmony. At Kokoro Creators, we believe the path to peace, purpose, and powerful relationships begins by reconnecting those parts within ourselves. When we integrate the mind and the body, we restore alignment with the heart and soul as we return to our center. Only then can we create authentic, meaningful connections with others from a place of wholeheartedness, from the inside out. Aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with mental chaos and self-doubt. Let me show you how this paradigm shift empowered me to break free and step into living my purpose. When I first felt called to create something meaningful, all I could hear was the mental noise telling me I wasn't enough, I wasn't adequate, I wasn't qualified. But deep down, something inside of me refused to give up. Despite the inadequacy I felt, I started taking small, intentional steps toward my dream, even when it didn't make sense. One of those steps was growing a garden. Yes, really. And in that quiet stillness, I was intuitively taught, layer by layer, an internal operating system that quieted the mental noise, that rewired my mindset, and empowered me to overcome the mental chaos and self-doubt. Now, I teach that system to others. The Kokoro problem-solving mini course is your first step on your transformation journey. This is a high-impact 2-hour experience designed to empower you to quiet the mental noise, to recognize sabotaging versus empowering thoughts, and to discover the answers inside of you so that you can fearlessly face the future with unstoppable confidence. You don't need to hustle harder. You need a clear step-by-step path back to your inner wisdom. The truth is that you matter, and the world needs what you alone can give. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready to step into your power? Click the link below to take the first step of the Kokoro transformation journey. Are you an aspiring entrepreneur that feels called to do something big, but you feel small and you keep getting stuck in hesitation and overthinking and self-doubt? You have a vision, a dream, a purpose that won't let go. But when it's time to take action, you freeze, fearing launching your business or putting yourself out there or sharing your ideas. You might have spent weeks or even years trying to perfect every little detail, only to feel more overwhelmed. You fear making mistakes and being embarrassed, so you hesitate taking action. You hold back your ideas, afraid that they're not good enough. You tell yourself, I just need one more day, one more thing to learn this or do that. But deep down, you know that waiting isn't solving the problem. What if you could learn a different mindset that would help you shift toward confidence so that fear doesn't hold you back anymore? The truth is that there is no perfect plan and there is no perfect timing, but there is a way to learn to trust yourself, to take one baby action step at a time. That's exactly what you will get inside the problem-solving mini course. A step-by-step action plan designed to empower you, to break free from overwhelm and self-doubt, to learn to make clear, confident decisions, to take action without waiting for permission or fearing making mistakes. It's time to stop thinking and start taking baby steps toward your hoped-for, desired vision. Your dreams are waiting. Your vision is waiting. Are you ready to claim your power? Visit howtoownyourownmind.com to learn more. Welcome to Kokoro Creators. What does Kokoro mean? In Japanese, Kokoro is a unique word that captures the combined meaning of heart, body, mind, and soul, all in one. It's a word that speaks to the wholeness of who we are. We have lovingly Americanized the pronunciation of Kokoro with the emphasis of core in the center, because the heart is in the center of everything we do. Why is Kokoro so important? Because the pain, chaos, and overwhelm we experience as humans often comes from being disconnected and out of alignment, when our heart, mind, and body are not working together in harmony. At Kokoro Creators, we believe the path to peace, purpose, and powerful relationships begins by reconnecting those parts within ourselves. When we integrate the mind and the body, we restore alignment with the heart and soul as we return to our center. Only then can we create authentic, meaningful connections with others from a place of wholeheartedness, from the inside out. Aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with mental chaos and self-doubt. Let me show you how this paradigm shift empowered me to break free and step into living my purpose. When I first felt called to create something meaningful, all I could hear was the mental noise telling me I wasn't enough, I wasn't adequate, I wasn't qualified. But deep down, something inside of me refused to give up. Despite the inadequacy I felt, I started taking small, intentional steps toward my dream, even when it didn't make sense. One of those steps was growing a garden. Yes, really. And in that quiet stillness, I was intuitively taught, layer by layer, an internal operating system that quieted the mental noise, that rewired my mindset, and empowered me to overcome the mental chaos and self-doubt. Now, I teach that system to others. The Kokoro problem-solving mini course is your first step on your transformation journey. This is a high-impact 2-hour experience designed to empower you to quiet the mental noise, to recognize sabotaging versus empowering thoughts, and to discover the answers inside of you so that you can fearlessly face the future with unstoppable confidence. You don't need to hustle harder. You need a clear step-by-step path back to your inner wisdom. The truth is that you matter, and the world needs what you alone can give. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready to step into your power? Click the link below to take the first step of the Kokoro transformation journey. Are you an aspiring entrepreneur that feels called to do something big, but you feel small and you keep getting stuck in hesitation and overthinking and self-doubt? You have a vision, a dream, a purpose that won't let go. But when it's time to take action, you freeze, fearing launching your business or putting yourself out there or sharing your ideas. You might have spent weeks or even years trying to perfect every little detail, only to feel more overwhelmed. You fear making mistakes and being embarrassed, so you hesitate taking action. You hold back your ideas, afraid that they're not good enough. You tell yourself, I just need one more day, one more thing to learn this or do that. But deep down, you know that waiting isn't solving the problem. What if you could learn a different mindset that would help you shift toward confidence so that fear doesn't hold you back anymore? The truth is that there is no perfect plan and there is no perfect timing, but there is a way to learn to trust yourself, to take one baby action step at a time. That's exactly what you will get inside the problem-solving mini course. A step-by-step action plan designed to empower you, to break free from overwhelm and self-doubt, to learn to make clear, confident decisions, to take action without waiting for permission or fearing making mistakes. It's time to stop thinking and start taking baby steps toward your hoped-for, desired vision. Your dreams are waiting. Your vision is waiting. Are you ready to claim your power? Visit howtoownyourownmind.com to learn more. Welcome to Kokoro, creators. What does Kokoro mean? In Japanese, Kokoro is a unique word that captures the combined meaning of heart, body, mind, and soul, all in one. It's a word that speaks to the wholeness of who we are. We have lovingly Americanized the pronunciation of Kokoro with the emphasis of core in the center, because the heart is in the center of everything we do. Why is Kokoro so important? Because the pain, chaos, and overwhelm we experience as humans often comes from being disconnected and out of alignment, when our heart, mind, and body are not working together in harmony. At Kokoro Creators, we believe the path to peace, purpose, and powerful relationships begins by reconnecting those parts within ourselves. When we integrate the mind and the body, we restore alignment with the heart and soul as we return to our center. Only then can we create authentic, meaningful connections with others from a place of wholeheartedness, from the inside out. Aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with mental chaos and self-doubt. Let me show you how this paradigm shift empowered me to break free and step into living my purpose. When I first felt called to create something meaningful, all I could hear was the mental noise telling me I wasn't enough, I wasn't adequate, I wasn't qualified. But deep down, something inside of me refused to give up. Despite the inadequacy I felt, I started taking small intentional steps toward my dream, even when it didn't make sense. One of those steps was growing a garden. Yes, really. And in that quiet stillness, I was intuitively taught, layer by layer, an internal operating system that quieted the mental noise, that rewired my mindset, and empowered me to overcome the mental chaos and self-doubt. Now, I teach that system to others. The Kokoro problem-solving mini-course is your first step on your transformation journey. This is a high-impact 2-hour experience designed to empower you to quiet the mental noise, to recognize sabotaging versus empowering thoughts, and to discover the answers inside of you so that you can fearlessly face the future with unstoppable confidence. You don't need to hustle harder. You need a clear step-by-step path back to your inner wisdom. The truth is that you matter, and the world needs what you alone can give. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready to step into your power? Click the link below to take the first step of the Kokoro transformation journey. Are you an aspiring entrepreneur that feels called to do something big, but you feel small and you keep getting stuck in hesitation and overthinking and self-doubt? You have a vision, a dream, a purpose that won't let go. But when it's time to take action, you freeze, fearing launching your business or putting yourself out there or sharing your ideas. You might have spent weeks or even years trying to perfect every little detail, only to feel more overwhelmed. You fear making mistakes and being embarrassed, so you hesitate taking action. You hold back your ideas, afraid that they're not good enough. You tell yourself, I just need one more day, one more thing to learn this or do that. But deep down, you know that waiting isn't solving the problem. What if you could learn a different mindset that would help you shift toward confidence so that fear doesn't hold you back anymore? The truth is that there is no perfect plan and there is no perfect timing, but there is a way to learn to trust yourself, to take one baby action step at a time. That's exactly what you will get inside the problem-solving mini course. A step-by-step action plan designed to empower you, to break free from overwhelm and self-doubt, to learn to make clear, confident decisions, to take action without waiting for permission or fearing making mistakes. It's time to stop thinking and start taking baby steps toward your hoped-for, desired vision. Your dreams are waiting. Your vision is waiting. Are you ready to claim your power? Visit howtoownyourownmind.com to learn more. Welcome to Kokoro Creators. What does Kokoro mean? In Japanese, Kokoro is a unique word that captures the combined meaning of heart, body, mind, and soul, all in one. It's a word that speaks to the wholeness of who we are. We have lovingly Americanized the pronunciation of Kokoro with the emphasis of core in the center, because the heart is in the center of everything we do. Why is Kokoro so important? Because the pain chaos, and overwhelm we experience as humans often comes from being disconnected and out of alignment, when our heart, mind, and body are not working together in harmony. At Kokoro Creators, we believe the path to peace, purpose, and powerful relationships begins by reconnecting those parts within ourselves. When we integrate the mind and the body, we restore alignment with the heart and soul as we return to our center. Only then can we create authentic, meaningful connections with others from a place of wholeheartedness, from the inside out. Aspiring entrepreneurs struggling with mental chaos and self-doubt. Let me show you how this paradigm shift empowered me to break free and step into living my purpose. When I first felt called to create something meaningful, all I could hear was the mental noise telling me I wasn't enough, I wasn't adequate, I wasn't qualified. But deep down, something inside of me refused to give up. Despite the inadequacy I felt, I started taking small intentional steps toward my dream, even when it didn't make sense. One of those steps was growing a garden. Yes, really. And in that quiet stillness, I was intuitively taught, layer by layer, an internal operating system that quieted the mental noise, that rewired my mindset, and empowered me to overcome the mental chaos and self-doubt. Now, I teach that system to others. The Kokoro problem-solving mini-course is your first step on your transformation journey. This is a high-impact 2-hour experience designed to empower you to quiet the mental noise, to recognize sabotaging versus empowering thoughts, and to discover the answers inside of you so that you can fearlessly face the future with unstoppable confidence. You don't need to hustle harder. You need a clear step-by-step path back to your inner wisdom. The truth is that you matter, and the world needs what you alone can give. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready to step into your power? Click the link below to take the first step of the Kokoro transformation journey. Are you an aspiring entrepreneur that feels called to do something big, but you feel small and you keep getting stuck in hesitation and overthinking and self-doubt? You have a vision, a dream, a purpose that won't let go. But when it's time to take action, you freeze, fearing launching your business or putting yourself out there or sharing your ideas. You might have spent weeks or even years trying to perfect every little detail, only to feel more overwhelmed. You fear making mistakes and being embarrassed, so you hesitate taking action. You hold back your ideas, afraid that they're not good enough. You tell yourself, I just need one more day, one more thing to learn this or do that. But deep down, you know that waiting isn't solving the problem. What if you could learn a different mindset that would help you shift toward confidence so that fear doesn't hold you back anymore? The truth is that there is no perfect plan and there is no perfect timing, but there is a way to learn to trust yourself, to take one baby action step at a time. That's exactly what you will get inside the problem-solving mini course. A step-by-step action plan designed to empower you, to break free from overwhelm and self-doubt, to learn to make clear, confident decisions, to take action without waiting for permission or fearing making mistakes. It's time to stop thinking and start taking baby steps toward your hoped-for, desired vision. Your dreams are waiting. Your vision is waiting. Are you ready to claim your power? Visit howtoownyourownmind.com to learn more. As you become aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and how your body is feeling, breathe deeply and slowly as you close the world outside, as it fades deeper and deeper into the background. As you breathe, imagine that light coming in through the top of your head, flowing through you like a waterfall, connecting you with your higher power as it flows in through your entire body, through your mind, down into your heart, down through your stomach, down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet. Feel that connection between the center of the universe and the center of the earth. In just a moment, I'll count you down from 5 to 1, where you can go down into your safe place. The place that allows you to feel safe and relaxed, where you can connect and remember that you are a creator, where you can choose, where you can allow yourself to step in with courage to becoming more and more aware of what your triggers are today, so that you can find one experience and one emotion that will allow you to remove that trigger, remove the button, remove the trapped energy in your body, so that you can fully experience more life, more energy, and more freedom as you move toward creating what you desire with power and confidence, knowing who you are and becoming more and more aware of what you are born to do. Take a nice, deep, letting go breath. 5. As you imagine going down into your safe place. That place where you are held and safe and calm. The place that surrounds you and holds you like a cocoon holds a butterfly in its messy middle of transformation. 4. Feel the light flowing in through the top of your head, flowing all the way through your body as it brings awareness to you of how you are feeling in your body. Take a moment to open your awareness and recognize the sensations in your body without judging them, but simply being curious and perhaps even leaning in to what is uncomfortable. 3. Take a nice deep letting go breath and congratulate yourself for being here, for showing up with your brave heart to face what is uncomfortable, so that you can recognize and remove one trigger today. 2. Feeling the light flow in through your body, melting down a wave of relaxation melting over your head, your face, your shoulders, your neck, releasing your shoulders, releasing the tension, feeling it melt your muscles and sink deeper, deeper into your body, relaxing your heart, your stomach, all your organs, all your muscles, all your nerves. Feel that relaxation sinking deeper and deeper into your stomach, down your hips, down your legs, and out the bottoms of your feet. Getting ready now to go into your safe place. And whatever safe place you imagine is perfect and right for you. That place where you feel comforted, where you know that you are the creator, where you can imagine and allow yourself to see what you need to see today, so that you can recognize and remove one trigger and one. Step over the threshold now as you step into your safe place, your own special world. As you open your eyes of awareness and connect with the surroundings of your safe place, take a moment to become aware of how your safe place appears to you. Notice the surroundings around you. Perhaps you're in a place in nature, or a special place in your home, or maybe even a favorite vacation place. Whatever you imagine is perfect and right for you. Feel how safe and relaxed your body feels here in your safe place. Perhaps you feel the sun on your skin that warms you and relaxes you as you notice the temperature is perfect and right for you. Take a moment to notice the sounds around you. Perhaps you hear sounds of nature, a waterfall, or the rain, or the wind going through the trees, or even birds flying through the air. And notice something that you smell, a smell that you love, a smell that connects you back to a time in your past when you felt totally safe and protected and loved and lovable and comforted. And notice something sitting there in your safe place, something you can taste that is delicious and nutritious. And go ahead and place that in your mouth now, perhaps a drink or something solid. As you feel that taste on your tongue, it melts your body with joy and satisfaction and allows you to remember that life is precious, that life is a treasure, and that life is to feel joy. And notice one thing around you that you can see as you focus on it, as you see its color, its detail. Perhaps it's the scenery of the beach, or perhaps there's a tropical bird or even a tree. Maybe you see a tree leaf flickering in the sunlight. As you see the object in your mind's eye with more and more detail, as you notice how it reacts to the environment, see the clarity, the crispness of the edges, the colors. And take a moment now to play with the colors as you make them more bold and more bright. And even now turn them down as they become soft and subtle. And as you see the colors changing, you remember that you are the one that made them change, because you have power to change anything that you desire here in your safe place. Imagine now going on a walk somewhere in your safe place as you begin walking on a nice, easy, gentle walk. And as you walk, you notice the scenery around you. You see nature. You notice the beauty of the earth. And as you walk, you begin to remember your past experiences. Allow yourself to notice and remember one recent experience that triggered for you a heavy emotion of fear, uncertainty, doubt, dread, or discouragement. Allow your body to become more and more aware of where you feel this emotion in your body. Perhaps it is in your heart, or your throat, or even your stomach, or lower down in your pelvis. Notice where you feel this fear, uncertainty, doubt, dread, or discouragement. And as you allow yourself to sit with the surface emotion, you begin to become more and more aware of the deeper feelings that you notice. As you think about the experience, one circumstance in your most recent experience that caused you to feel uncomfortable in your body, begin to open your awareness of how that feels within you. Allow yourself to sit with how you are feeling, what you're noticing. Increase your awareness and allow your body to feel and notice. Allow yourself to see the circumstances of this experience that triggered emotions within you. Perhaps emotions of anger or injustice. Allow yourself to notice what was happening in the circumstance, what was happening in the situation. See who is there. Allow your body to feel it as if you are there in the present moment, that the people are around you. The same situation that triggered you, that caused you to feel this uncomfortable emotion. Allow yourself to feel it in your body. Perhaps your body felt unsafe, or threatened, or disrespected. Perhaps someone criticized you or hurt someone that you love. Allow yourself to feel the emotion. Feel it more intensely. Allow yourself to feel it more deeply for just a little while, so that your body can recognize that there is a lesson inside of this emotion, a gift that it is bringing you, a power that it will allow you to have. Allow yourself to sit for just a moment, feeling and recognizing as you put yourself in that circumstance, speaking out loud now to your conscious mind, speaking as if to the people in that circumstance. Speak directly to them and express. Describe the situation of what is happening. And then speak directly to that person that hurt you, and allow yourself to express the anger, to unleash your feelings, to say exactly how you feel, why you are hurt, and why you feel that way. Very, very good. You are doing so well and being so brave. And now take this one step further to speak to this person or circumstance or an event, speaking what you need from the situation. Look inside. Perhaps there is part of you that can see, the part that is hurt. The part that wants to experience something different. Allow yourself to look to see what you need from this experience. And take a moment now to invite a guide to be with you. A guide who can help you to understand more deeply why this experience hurt you, what you wished would have happened in that circumstance. Perhaps the guide has a question for you. Perhaps the guide is your inner child, or perhaps even your higher self. Notice and see that guide there with you, knowing that you are not alone, that your guide is there to support you, to increase the awareness, to help you remove this trigger, to remove what hurts, and to replace it with what you truly desire and need. Sit with your guide for a moment, allowing yourself to recognize what you need in this circumstance. Very good. And now, having recognized what you need and having expressed the hurt that you experienced, allow your higher self or your guide to speak to you the message that you need to hear that will help you to understand the purpose for having experienced this pain. That's right. Keep breathing deeply and slowly as you listen to your inner wisdom to understand the purpose of this pain. Good. Take a nice deep letting go breath. As your guide takes you to a future event, a future experience where you can look back on the years after this painful thing happened. And as you look back, you gain a new perspective, having seen over the journey of time the way that this experience has helped you, has empowered you, or has given you a gift of some lesson. Take a moment now to bring your awareness to one reason: how this experience has empowered you and has given you a gift. And perhaps if you need a second perspective, you can ask your guide to show you from their perspective how this experience has helped you to learn a lesson, a way that it has empowered you to become who you are truly born to be. The gift that this experience has given you. Listen to your guide as you become still to recognize from another perspective how this experience has empowered you. Now imagine that you are holding a precious pearl in your hand to represent this gift, or perhaps something else that has more meaning to you. See in your hand the gift that this experience has given you as you allow your heart to fill with gratitude. Allow gratitude to grow as a seed beginning in your heart as you open up and expand. Feel your heart melting like butter melts in a microwave. Feel your heart letting go of all of the old hurt, all of the old pain. Letting go of hate, letting go of revenge, letting go of guilt, regret, as it is replaced with gratitude from your new awareness and your new perspective to see now from this higher view the purpose that this experience has played over the story of your life. Allow this seed of gratitude to grow within your heart as you recognize more and more deeply the lessons that you have learned. The strength that it has given you. And take a moment now to weave within your mind, your heart, and your body this emotion that you now are able to replace for that old emotion. As you go back to the original experience, being in that initial circumstance that triggered you, imagine that you are braiding together 3 strands that represent your emotion, your thoughts, and the images of this new transformed experience. That you now feel within yourself gratitude, being empowered with knowledge and perspective to recognize how this circumstance is a gift and has empowered you to become, to grow, even to give you strengths that you didn't have before. Allow the emotion to become stronger as you feel gratitude. And take now a moment to recognize the compassion that can now be your companion as you look at this experience that used to trigger you, as you look at the perspective from a different angle. Perhaps see it from the perspective of the person that you felt was your persecutor, the person that made you angry. Notice the hurt that they have inside of them. Any past experiences that have caused them to become who they are. Because hurt people hurt people. As you allow yourself to recognize with compassion their default wiring, their past circumstances, it does not give them an excuse for their behavior, but it simply gives you the power to forgive and let go, and recognize that they have their own life's experience, their own journey that they are on, and that their words and their emotions do not need to trigger you any longer. See a bubble around yourself as if it is a forest field protecting you, a bubble of empowerment to recognize that you are the creator of your own thoughts, your own emotions, the feelings that you feel in your body, and that the other person does not yet have this awareness. So they may feel need to hurt other people, to bully them, or try to control them. They simply lack the understanding. Recognize where they are on their journey, and that they are being triggered by their emotions. Because when someone has a trigger from that emotion, it's as if they are holding a loaded weapon, and someone else has their finger on the trigger, which means they are not in control of their experience. They have given away their power, whether aware of it or not. Their emotions are controlling them. Take a nice deep letting go breath as you claim your own power to choose. As you put that barrier between you and the other person, to let go of the need to control them. Let go of the need to decide what their behavior should be or shouldn't be. And simply recognize that you have the power to choose to be calm in any given circumstance, because you can choose your thoughts, your emotions, the images in your mind that create your inside world. And the more you choose to claim this power, the more you will gain control, as if you are climbing a mountain. As your power increases more and more, claim this power within yourself, in your heart, your mind, and your body. And remember that you are a creator. You have power to choose, power to forgive, power to let go. And now that you have let go of the anger, allow the energy in your body to flow through you, filling you with love, compassion, and gratitude, and forgiveness. Let these emotions become stronger and stronger in your body as you imagine now what you desire to do with your newfound energy. What do you desire to create? What needs did this experience give you an awareness of that you desire to feel? Imagine an experience that you can create that will allow you to meet this true need within your heart in a healthy way, so that you can ask, invite, allow, and receive as you co-create joy with other people. Take a nice deep letting go breath, feeling the light flow in through the top of your head, all the way through your body and out through the bottoms of your feet. In just a moment, I'll count you down from 5 to 1, where you can stay in this safe place. Perhaps even checking in with your guide to ask if there is anything else underneath this first trigger that you desire to look at deeper. Check in with your guide and ask, am I done for now? And notice the yes answer or the no answer as you gain direction for your next step. Take a nice deep letting go breath, setting your intention to stay here for as long as you desire as I count you down from 5 to 1. Feeling the light flow in through the top of your head. 5. Feel that waterfall flowing through you, filling you with light, flowing down into your mind, your heart, and your body. 4. Relaxing you even deeper, feeling safe and courageous to look at the next layer if that's where you need to go, or perhaps even returning next time when you have another experience where you recognize a trigger, knowing that you are safe to come and return to remove the trigger. 3. Feeling more and more relaxed in your body, setting your intention to wake as soon as you desire. 2. Feeling and remembering all the transformations that you have created today, bringing with you all the lessons, all the gratitude, all the forgiveness that empowers you to create this force field around you, so you no longer need to be triggered by other people's experiences. And 1. Remembering that I am so proud of you. With love, Pennie. Hello and welcome. I am Pennie Wilson. Today we're doing a video on why anxiety feels so overwhelming and what you can do to start your transformation journey. I help people along 4 stages of the abundance transformation journey, and you can check that out at biohackyourmindset.com. We just changed the URL, so it's not rolling off my tongue yet because it used to be howtoownyourownmind.com. Anyway, so at biohackyourmindset.com, we just created a quiz funnel to help you discover which stage of the journey that you are on. So just to give you a quick background, we help people through the 4 stages. That first stage is the stage where you feel like you're looking down at your problem and you don't have tools or know what to do about the problem. And that's what this stage, this video is for today. Stage 2 is where you are using the tools, you know the tools and you're practicing them. You're learning to shift. The stage is called shift. The first stage is called awareness. Second stage is called shifting. Third stage is called empowered. And the fourth stage is called creator. So in that second stage, you're really learning to shift your mindset, to point your brain away from the problem toward the solution. And I've been there. I get it. I know it is not easy. Third stage is empowered. You have tools. You're able to focus more on the solution than you do on the problem. And sometimes your brain still floats downstream, and I get it. But the point is to continually rewire and point your brain toward where you want to go. And I'm pointing here because this is referring to my map of the sun represents what you desire over here, and the clouds represent what you don't desire. I use the framework of the power of Ted, where he talks about your empowered mindset versus your victim mindset. That's one of my foundational tools. I'm getting certified at the end of next month to be able to be actually certified practitioner with that. I am already a certified hypnotherapist, which I use that tool to help you learn how to own your own mind. I've discovered lots of ways that we train our brains to think. And these tools that I've used, this map, these are the things that I've learned intuitively, the things that I've been taught along my journey that I love to be able to share with you. So one of the reasons why I'm here is to show up for God. I believe in God. I believe in a higher power, and I love to share what messages he gives to me. And to me, it's all about being an instrument and using my voice to give my best. As I do that, I get to grow along my journey and become who I am born to be. So that's why I'm here. I'm not here for a fashion show. I'm not here for a popularity contest. And you can love me or not, and that's totally fine. But if you are looking for a way to get tools to be able to shift your mindset, to grow on your abundance journey, I invite you to follow and keep learning with me as we help you today in stage one. So as I mentioned, stage one today, this video is about why anxiety feels so overwhelming and what to do to start your transformation journey. So one of the tools that I have been taught intuitively is the shape of a tree, and I'm going to share it with you on screen now. Okay, so here on this screen, you can see the tool of a tree, and it sounds really basic and simple, but the way that I teach in my program, the mind is wired through thoughts, emotions, and images. And as we gain awareness, which stage one is called the awareness stage, we learn to think. We learn to recognize what we're thinking. We learn to recognize what we're feeling, and we learn to recognize what we believe. So the way to begin your transformation journey is to grow in awareness, is simply to begin to allow yourself to notice what is happening in your experience. Just to give you a quick understanding of where I have been in my journey, I totally get you. I get where I was in that stage one. I lived in, I could say, a codependent relationship for 17 years. And I gave away my power to choose because I felt controlled in that relationship. And that's where I was in my life. And I attracted exactly the relationship I needed in order to grow into the person that I am today. So I get where you might be in stage one if you are experiencing any kind of lots of dark emotions. I don't want to point the problem here. I know the tendency in this stage is to blame, complain, and point the problem at the other people in your life that are causing the problem. But as you dig into the framework that I teach, we talk about the victim mindset, and the opposite of victim is creator. So really, this is about awareness and gaining the tools to understand how you see the world, how you see yourself. So the reason why emotions, why things feel so overwhelming is because there is emotions in your body, there's thoughts in your mind, and there's beliefs that you have that are pointed toward the problem. And you probably don't even see it. I remember being in that stage, and literally I lived in a 2-bedroom trailer. One was like a storage room where we shoved a little baby crib. I have 5 kids, by the way. So I lived in a 2-bedroom trailer. Our bedroom did not even have like a closing door. It was one of those sliding doors. And I think back and I'm like, wow. So I was really depressed as a mom. I think I had 4 kids by the time. I have 5 now. As I mentioned, I was looking down at the ground all the time. And I didn't realize I was looking down at the ground. And I really was focused on the problems of my life. And I have physical scientific evidence for that because I grew a cyst on my left ovary that was over 20 centimeters big. That's as big as a 20-week, a halfway grown fetus in a mom's belly. So I grew a cyst on my ovary, and I looked up, I have a book and I've studied a lot about emotional connections with physical manifestations. And I looked up in my book, what is the emotional cause of cysts and ovaries and all that sort of thing? And it said self-pity. feeling sorry for myself, which is the perfect way to describe what it was like for me living in my victimhood. I really did. Victimhood comes from the inside. Victimization are things that come from the outside, things that we can't control that happen to us. So that victimization is something that I internalized in my experiences, the way that things happen. So the reason why life feels so overwhelming is because of these thoughts, these emotions, and these beliefs that are pointed toward the problem, pointed toward what is wrong, and pointed toward what hurts. Usually these are things in your past that have happened. Just take a second to think about, what do you think about with your childhood? How do you feel about your childhood? Is it something that you look back to with joy and excitement? Or is it something you feel like is a heavy thing that didn't give you what you needed or wanted in life? I know for me, up until a couple years ago, when I really started learning how to apply all of the tools that I teach, I really did look back at my childhood and think, I had a horrible childhood. And I can tell you specific memories of XYZ that happened and the reason why it was horrible. But now that I've learned how to transform those emotions, I really do not feel the same way as I look back at that childhood experience. I heard the other day that you can't necessarily change the circumstances of what happened in the past, but you can absolutely change the way that you feel about it. And that what is so amazing about the tools that I have learned to use and that I teach in my program. So victimization is where you're coming from the inside and you're focused on the problem. And the reason why you feel overwhelmed in that state is because all of those experiences are going through you. And for me, it felt like a human pinball machine where something would happen in my experience. Someone would say something, someone would have a certain tone of voice that I interpreted as mean or controlling or hurtful. And it would go into me and it would touch that place in my mind or heart where that past memory was. And then the way that I perceived the experience would be connected to the emotion of that past experience. So just imagine, like, your past experience is a fact, right? But the way that you wrap your emotions and your thoughts around it is the connection, the neurokinetic connection. Actually, not neurokinetic, it's the neuroscience behind the way that you feel about that experience. So hopefully that visual helps. So the way to begin your awareness stage in your journey is to literally just observe. And I know it's going to take some practice because this is a pain that you don't want to look into. It's like a cave, right? I remember feeling that way. And it was like Darth Vader being in that cave where Luke in Star Wars is going into the cave looking at what he doesn't want to see about himself. I was afraid to go into that cave because I didn't want to hate myself. I didn't want to look at who I really was. So I was living with all of these masks and facades and pretending and masking the way that my life's circumstances was. I would minimize the abuse I was under. I would not share my feelings that I was going through. And I definitely would not use my voice to ask for what I needed. That's a generational pattern that's happened in my family that I am learning still to overcome and gaining tools and power. So the way to begin your transformation journey is literally to be in that place of compassion and awareness and simply begin to notice. So I encourage you to use this tool. So first are the thoughts. Second are the emotions, and third is the beliefs. And the probably, if you're not recognizing just your thoughts, I would begin there. So depending on where you are in that awareness stage. So learning to recognize your thoughts. This morning, I woke up feeling very overwhelmed, feeling like, oh my gosh, there is so much to do. We have an event that we're preparing for on Saturday. And I'm like, thinking about this video and I'm like, do I really have time? Can I do this? So just feeling like so much. And then I went to my personal study time and this is my journal, and I was reading and feeling, and I was actually studying about being anxious, and I had not yet planned on making this video. And so it was super amazing to have these connections happen as I realize that this message is growing inside of me, right? Because my personal experience is a blessing to other people when I can show you how I've overcome it. One of my heroes, David Emerald, that teaches the power of TED. You can go to that book and start checking out the victimhood framework. But he teaches that we teach most what we need to learn. So the way that my brain and body are wired because of my childhood experiences, I grew up in a home with scarcity and really feeling like I didn't have enough. My brain and body are still wired to naturally float downstream, as I call it, as if there's a river that's pointing my brain toward what I don't want. And that's the natural way that my brain will flow unless I intentionally point it to where I want it to go. So anxiety is a feeling in your body that happens because of where your mind is pointed. And what I was studying about this morning was actually pointing your brain toward the future and imagining and feeling anxious, imagining of all of the bad things that could happen. I don't know if you've ever heard that phrase of waiting for the other shoe to drop. It came from an old story in the wartime, World War II. And I believe it was like in New York where the brownstones are. And the floor is actually so thin that when the neighbor upstairs comes home from work, they take off their shoes and they drop them on the floor. And then the neighbors downstairs, because the walls are so thin, they can hear, and they're waiting for the other shoe to drop. So then the other shoe comes off and they're like, okay, they're home. And anyway, so it's become something else now that we look toward the future and we're waiting for something bad to happen. And that's what I was studying about this morning, about that feeling of being anxious. So when our brains are pointed toward what we don't want in the future, we're going to use our imagination and it becomes a weapon against us. It becomes something that's going to hurt us because we're pointing our brain toward what we don't want. And that's exactly what I teach you in my program, is how to point your brain toward what you do want. You can transform the way that you see your life. You can transform where your brain is pointed. If you're feeling anxiety in your body, it's because your thoughts and your emotions are wrapped around what you don't want. And in this case, pointed toward the future, imagining what you don't want. So feeling all of that heaviness in your body and that anxiety, I found 5 things, and this is in my scripture study time. I believe in God. I come from a Judeo-Christian perspective, and I found, 5 things that it teaches about how to overcome anxiety. And I love this because it aligns perfectly with what I teach in my program and what I believe. And I apologize that I keep talking about my program, but oh my gosh, I'm just so excited about it. It's my passion, my purpose, and my desire to get it out to the world because I believe there's so many people that need it. Anyway, so he talked about 5 things in this talk that I was studying of the ways to overcome anxiety. And number 1 was to follow God, to really put your intention and your desire toward what you want to create, in my words, right? Of looking toward your future and creating in your mind what you do want. And I know in the beginning of your journey, when your brain is pointed toward what you don't want, it's so hard. I work with clients all the time, and every time we get to a one-on-one session and we're talking about, okay, what are you experiencing? What's going on? And what don't you want? And they can describe easily all the things that they don't want or don't like in their circumstances. And then I ask them to switch the way that their brain is pointing and point toward, okay, what do you want instead? And sometimes they say, well, I don't want to feel anxiety. Yeah, that's true. I get it. But look at where the brain is still pointing. It's still pointing toward the problem. So listen to your words. Listen to your thoughts. Listen to where your brain is pointed. So this week, I would love for you to consider using the tool of awareness and just recognizing your thoughts. If you want to carry a journal around with you and simply just write down your thoughts. And I invite you to actually use a 2-page journal. I'll show you what I mean. So this is my journal, and over on the left side, write the thoughts that are pointing toward what you don't want. And over on the right side, point toward the things that you do want, you do desire. And you can break these down into thoughts or emotions or circumstances, however you want to organize that for yourself. But the second thing that he talked about is trust. Trust in God, trust that you're being guided, trust. So I know in that stage 1, trust is something that is so hard to learn because of all of the letdown, all of the disappointment, all the ways that you've been hurt. And I've been there and I understand. Learning to trust is a huge part of the journey. So find one baby step, one thing that you can do. And if you want to apply the tool of trust, you can simply look for the ways that you have been hurt in the past and the things that you have had that trust broken, and then find a way to forgive and maybe journal about it and write about why it hurt and how you can give it to God, how you can let it go, how you can let go of that pain. The third thing that he talks about is relying on those you love, that they're also on a path with you, that they're moving forward, that they're someone that you can lean on and help. And I love thinking about the power of the team. But I know in that stage 1, it is not something that feels natural to reach out and ask for help. The way that you can apply this tool to rely is to simply find someone that you can talk to, someone that you can share something with and ask them for help. Really recognizing what you need in your heart is a huge part of that stage 1. Recognizing why it hurts and what you truly needed from that situation, that is the beginning of healing. And as you're journaling, you can recognize those, okay, what I thought, what hurt, and what did I need from that situation? And you can journal on that to recognize what you felt was the deficit and what you didn't get that you truly needed. That is going to be so key when you start pointing to where you do want to go, because that need is the fulfillment of your 6 basic psychological needs. It's so huge. So in this stage, it's such a gift and it's a good thing to be able to sort through this pain and recognize these important things that matter to you so much. Okay. And the fourth thing was to seek guidance. And we talked about trust, which is different than seeking guidance. So actually taking a step forward and moving toward asking questions. Asking questions is so powerful in the mind. And notice what happens when you're asking questions that are pointed toward the problem versus asking questions that are pointing toward the solution. So, for example, pointing toward the problem is, what's wrong with me? And that would be the answers that your brain is going to return, because the brain is just like the soil. If you've ever planted anything or grown a garden, and if you haven't, you probably can imagine what that would look like. You put a seed in the ground and it starts growing. And when it comes back, it grows into life, right? Well, the ground doesn't care which kind of seed you plant. If you plant poison or if you plant food that's going to fill your body with life versus death, it doesn't care what you plant. It's going to return to you what you plant. And the brain works just the same. The questions that you ask in your mind are like those seeds that come back to you and answer the question. So if you're asking the question, what's wrong with me? Your brain is going to return to you those answers. So asking questions is one huge thing that you can do just to begin your journey. Recognize where your thoughts are pointed toward that problem and then change it. What question will point you toward the solution? It could be, what's right with me? Or why am I good? Or what did I do good today? Asking a question that's going to point you where you do want to go. Just remove the old and replace it with the new. And then the fifth thing is develop your unique gifts. Develop those gifts that are within you. And that is the reason and the purpose of our program, is to help you develop those gifts, to discover why you are born. What are you born to do? What's unique about you? And how can you use those gifts to give to the world, to give who you are? And if you're in stage 1, I know that that feels so scary. But if there is any desire in your heart to be able to create, to be able to give something. When I was 12 years old, I started imagining. I would watch people on stage, and I would be sitting there in some kind of speaking environment, and I would watch people on stage, and I would hear, and then I would begin to imagine me up there on stage. And at first it was totally preposterous, totally unbelievable, and I couldn't even guess why I might be imagining these things. But these little ways that imaginations come to your heart are that it's that voice of wisdom within you. It's your heart calling to you to discover, maybe this is something that you could do to give your gifts. And why does this matter? Because the 6 basic human chemical needs of what you experience in your mind, your heart, and your body to feel fulfillment in life, that is the need of contribution. The need of, I can be valued for who I am, and I can give something that other people feel is valuable as well. It's part of that cycle of giving and receiving, because that is the pattern of abundance. It's completely giving and completely receiving. And that's how it goes in that big, beautiful, beautiful circle to be able to make the world a better place. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was a little bit longer than I intended, but I truly invite you to pick one tiny little baby step. What are you going to do right now today to move forward? It's just about one tiny thing. Is it a thought that you want to begin to recognize? Use your journal and begin to write down your thoughts. Write down the things that you don't want. Write down the things that you do want. Just begin to recognize, being in that awareness, become present in your thoughts and recognize where you are on your journey. If you want to recognize more trust or rely or asking questions, just pick one little baby step today that you can apply, because the cycle of growing is 3 basic things. It's so basic. It's going to blow your mind. I first learned this and I kept learning it little by little. At first, I just got the first 2 pieces, and then I got the 3rd one a couple years later, and I'm like, wow, it just blows my mind how basic and amazing truth can be, because simplicity is true. So the 3 basic ways to grow on your transformation is to learn, apply, and share. Learn one thing every day. Apply it to what you want to do to get better, to grow, to move forward, and share it with someone else. Sharing who you are, what you're learning in a way that you can do to share with someone else is the way that we learn. We're learning more as we're talking. We're learning more as we're sharing, and it can be a benefit to someone else. So those are my thoughts for you today, and I'm going to leave you with that. And just remember that you are worth it, and you matter, and the world is waiting for what you alone can give. Look forward to next time. Have an amazing day. Thank you for booking our testimonial interview as well. I'm super excited to be able to have others hear your story.
Yeah, it does. I'm trying to compartmentalize a
Mm-hmm.
bit because right now I know I specifically, when you wanted a review about the problem solving thing, I specifically at that time took the morning, set it down, watched each one individually, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I think I wrote something to you, but my memory, I don't remember specifically
Okay.
so much about. I'm probably more comfortable with all because I've had so many of your group sessions and your private sessions that
So we focus on
you
that.
know, or I could go back to even at the very beginning of the problem solving, because that's in essence what you taught me to begin with. And I think for me personally, I think you instilled a belief in me that I did not have to be stuck.
That's so
So,
beautiful.
and I'm still working on getting unstuck,
Well, it's a
but
lot of
I
wiring in there, right?
firmly,
Yeah.
I firmly believe that I don't have to be stuck anymore, that I have a future out there and I can go after what I want, you know? So to me, that is
hmm That's awesome. And how was that different in the past?
probably,
Did you believe that that wasn't an option?
uh, yeah, because I think I kept, especially when I was going through those three key elements and stuff, you know, he kept talking about the wall and how to get past the wall. And I was always on that wall and I couldn't ever get past that wall.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's been through the hypnotherapy sessions that have helped me realize I can get past that wall. And even though I'm stuck today, that doesn't mean I have to be stuck 5 minutes from now or 10 minutes from now, or, you know, I don't have to stay bouncing off that wall
Mm.
continually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've become, you know, and I think originally I thought it was just going to magically happen. And I know it just doesn't magically happen, but
Mm-hmm.
um, it's enough that I'm not giving up. I'm just going to keep moving forward. And
Mm-hmm.
I think with going into the having showing self-compassion and love for myself and giving myself grace, and I don't like that particularly, maybe giving myself, you know, that I don't have to be perfect and
Yeah.
realize it's a step process, that
Mm-hmm.
that has made a big difference for me.
Huge. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's been the biggest shift for you in order to get through that wall? Or is
uh,
there anything else that comes to mind in the key factor of what helped you to get from believing that it wasn't possible to move forward to actually seeing, yes, I can choose? Can you think of what helped you to get
it's the
from?
repetition of hearing that, you know, I don't know what
Mhm.
has meant,
It's
you know,
true.
just the fact, or my own desire of wanting to get past
Mm-hmm.
that wall. And even though I fall down, I'm just, you know, got to pick myself back up and keep going, you know. But I'll never
Mm-hmm.
get past the wall if I just stay there. So
Yep. Yep. I love it. That is true. It is
oh,
your
that's,
desire. It is, yep. Helps that span the gap. Hmm. Do you want to share what it was that was your particular challenge before we started working together?
well, definitely it's the speaking up. It's still
Hmm.
my challenge. You know, that's
Hmm.
still where I'm falling, you know, down. But the
Yeah.
speaking up and the fact of getting off the sugar and the addiction that I've had, those have been my two major challenges.
Yeah. It's been so interesting to see your journey. On the inside, it's been about that internal fear of speaking up, but on the outside, I think that you really have discovered that the food addiction is the outside manifestation of that internal need. You want to speak to that at
Absolutely,
all?
yeah. The fact that, and are you recording this? Because I'm
I
all right.
am.
You
And I think we could just put your picture on the front and then you don't have to worry about anything, the background or whatever.
know. Okay, so ask the question again.
Yeah, so on the journey that you've been through to recognize your internal pain or fear of not speaking up, and then the outside where there's the food addiction to kind of numb that need or pain, what has been your discovery process in that? What have you been able to realize or your growth journey?
Well, I realized that up until I started mentoring with you, I was in complete denial of any feeling I had. that it was that I had to be that Miss Perfect, and um, my feelings didn't matter. I had to please other people. That was my purpose on earth, was to please other people and to have, in order to have peace and less contention in any of my relationships. So, so my only comfort, my only peace that I ever received was numbing and hiding in the food.
Mm.
And it only gave instant gratification. It didn't give long-term peace, but I realized that's how I self-soothed, was through food. And now I have all so many other options that it's training my brain that I have these other options. But I am learning now that I can self-soothe so many different ways and have gratification and hit dopamine ways, other ways besides food.
Yeah.
And that has made such a huge difference for me. So
What allowed you to discover that shift?
I think it was through all the hypnotherapy sessions. I've had both private and group sessions, and I listen to them faithfully, something every day. A lot of times I go to sleep with them. I wake up in the middle of the night during the night and we'll turn one back on again.
Mhm.
And I'm noticing just this last month that according to my nice little Apple Watch, I am getting more deeper sleep than I ever have had in my whole life. So, and I think it's because my body's finally getting a message. I am safe.
Mm. That is amazing. Yeah,
So
it's beautiful. Mm. So creating that shift with repetition, it sounds like, and you have been the ideal student, like literally. How much your desire pushes you forward, your consistency in showing up to the sessions, your consistency in practice outside of what we do together has been absolutely amazing. And I think that is truly what has helped you to go over that gap from where you were stuck and thinking that things couldn't change to really experiencing, wow, it is different now, and feeling. How does it feel now compared to what it felt like before? You said safe. Is there any other words that you have for that?
I have hope for a future. I'm 74 and my life is just now starting to begin. So
That is awesome. I love it. Okay.
that hope is tremendous.
Mhm.
And the overall peace and knowing, um, another thing, I've never allowed myself to have joy. My joy came through my food, so I'm finding other ways to have joy. So
Yeah, that is
that
huge.
is
Yeah,
that is huge.
right. Because the world, going from that old people pleasing mindset, you're just doing things for other people. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're doing what you have to do. But now, what has given you permission to allow yourself to have joy and shift out of that people pleasing place?
Realizing self-love and knowing that I deserve it just as much as other people deserve it. So,
That's right. It's awesome. Yep.
it's frustrating when it just doesn't automatically happen, but I'm
Yep. It's that uphill
I'm
climb
getting
for
there, like I
sure.
said. It's that hope that keeps me trying and keep me moving forward, and self-compassion. When I fall down, I just pick myself back up and start again.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You've come so far. I'm really, really so proud of you. I'm amazed at all the progress you've made, and I'm so excited for the difference that it's made in your life.
Well, you have made a difference, Penny, in my life, because I've realized, well, I think I've known before, but that question, one of those questions, what you've been my cheerleader. You're the one, probably the one and only one that voices that they believe in me and I can do this. So You've been the best cheerleader ever.
Oh, thank you. It's been such a joy to walk beside you. Like, I have so much excitement when I hear your victories, and you're like, yes, I recognize this week. And it's seriously the most amazing thing. I appreciate you and all that we've been through together. I remember way back in the beginning, and I was going through my divorce, and I would show up for before I knew about hypnotherapy or anything, I would show up. I was such a mess. I remember in one session I was crying, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. And you're like, no, you're helping me still. We've been through so much.
No, we have, but
Yep.
you helped me so,
Oh,
you're still helping me so much. And I just appreciate, love you so much, Penny.
oh,
You
I
are a
love you
true
too.
example of transformation. Absolutely, yes.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so one last part that I love to do is if you were talking to the past you, the Charlene that was stuck in whatever place that you felt, what would you say to her so that she can now get a glimpse of where you are now?
What would I say to her? Just don't give up. There is sunshine around the corner. You can make your own sunshine right now. So just little steps at a time. How's that?
That's awesome. That's super awesome. Yep, it is
And to be
awesome.
aware. I think that's the biggest thing. Once I was aware of what I was doing and thinking and feeling, yeah, just be aware.
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
change
because
doesn't happen until we're aware of where we're at. And
right. You mentioned that before we started working together, that you would totally ignore your emotions, and that place of being emotionally aware was it a cave? What helped you to look into that place of being aware?
well, I guess a desire for the change helped me go in there and writing and feeling the emotions and identifying the emotions. We've been working how many years, and I'm just now starting that my actually recognizing emotions. It has been buried for so long that it's
Mm.
taken a long time to actually acknowledge them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, that's my next step is to really, really be aware of what am I feeling and allowing me to feel it.
Mhm.
And where do I feel it in my body?
Yeah. Yep. Increasing that connection between your mind and your heart and your body. Yeah. Yep. So much more freedom and flow and beautiful acceptance is in store for you. It's going to be awesome.
I love how you have focused on victories because the last, I would eat and binge and say I'm never going to do it again. And then when I would, I'd go in that shame cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would take me sometimes even months to get out of it, to start back to eating the way how I wanted to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And my goal is to be completely abstinent, but I'm realizing that may be a goal not right now because I'm still struggling. I can't, when I'm with my family, I have not been able to. And this weekend, I was just again with my family, going in with it, the truth thing. I had my meals prep, this is what I'm going to do, but I couldn't hold to it. And I did not shame myself, and I'm not shaming myself today, and I'm right back on track again. And even when and to me, that is the best win ever. So
Yeah.
not to but shame and just pick up where I'm at and realize, love myself that I did my best and understand, you know, understand where I've been and
Yep.
why I've been overeating and binging and give myself compassion. And that has helped me. So
That's beautiful.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. That is the messy middle, and you are in the middle of that courageous place of transformation. So, so, so good. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing. We'll find some way to use this, and then you don't have to worry about anything
Oh,
else.
thank you. Love you.
Oh, you're amazing. Appreciate you so much.
You are too. You're helping so many people and have a whole bunch of people out there that
Yes, we
you
will keep
will.
finding them. It will
I
be great.
know.
Awesome.
Welcome to Kokoro Creators Channel. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss more videos like this one.
So, good morning, everyone. I want to update you on our amazing weekend last weekend. For any of you that are building a business or you feel like you're putting in effort again and again and you're not getting any results, I want to help you see how you can shift your mindset so that you can focus on your desired outcome, because what you're focusing on matters. 3 things that it takes to win is focus, focus, and focus. Literally, it is such an important thing in order to train your brain to point your mind to the desired outcome in what you're creating. So this last weekend, we had an amazing event at Upgrade Labs here in Riverton, Utah. And Dave Asprey came and he did a book signing, and we got to listen to him speak the night before. Excuse me. And I'm just going to be really transparent and open with you and share with you exactly what happened, because I want you to see the inside workings of what's actually happening in our business so that you can see how the struggle is and also the backstory of what it looks like to see the wins and the mind shifting that's happening in the experience. So it was an amazing event, and I totally was able to gain insights in seeing where our company is going, the vision that the direction we're heading. So just getting all of those victories. The frustrating part, right? The problem part of this is that we put probably $1,000 into updating, pictures and signs and all of that sort of thing, and putting in the effort. And you have a goal and you're working toward this and you want to come out of it with this XYZ result. So what happened was, instead, which is so often what happens when it comes to experiences of synchronicity, is that things happen in a way that it's like growing a garden instead of building a house. You don't necessarily see the results in a way that's linear, that is like formulated, and XYZ equals ABC. So what happened was we put in all this effort and intention, and we're working on manifesting the next steps of our business. And then what happened was all these connections happened instead of the sales, right? The goal that we had. So I totally see this as a way that synchronicity is being shown in our lives, that the universe is guiding our experiences. There's a quote I love that David Emerald has in the beginning of his book, and I shared this on the podcast interview that I did with him on the Power of TED. And we talked about the poem that talks about the universe. After you commit to something, the universe shifts to help you achieve that result. And this is one of those things where synchronicity is continuing to change and support us, the universe shifting. And I believe it's the hand of God in my life. You can call him a higher power, whatever you like, but it is definitely watching those amazing experiences happen. So here's what happened. I woke up the morning of the event after having talked to Dave the night before, listened to him at the book signing. I woke up the morning of the event and I had this idea pop into my head first thing when I was just in between that tweener stage, right? Where you're waking up and you're first coming aware to the fact that you're awake. And I had this thought pop into my head of invite Dave to do like a book interview on his book that's launching, and see if we could do a book discussion on it with our community. And I'm like, whoa, that is so big. That is like way beyond my comfort zone. That's out of the range of anything that I've done. Like, I just got done interviewing David Emerald with the Power of TED, and that was the biggest thing that I had done yet. And so this feels like it's way out of my comfort zone, right? So I get to the event, and Kyle and we set up everything. We do our big signs and manners and all of that stuff, that we have this goal going into it. And instead of all the sales, like I mentioned, we are connecting with people and making these amazing conversations and truly having heart-to-heart conversations with new people that are going to be coming into the community. And so I get up there to do my book signing with Dave, and I get a second to talk to him one-on-one. And this thought pops back into my head of, oh yeah, I wanted to invite him to this book interview. So it just came out of my mouth. It flowed because I had imagined it actually that morning. And that's what happens in the brain is you imagine it on purpose or in a subconscious way where you see images and you hear words in your mind. And then in the very moment, man, it just flowed out of me. And I was able to invite him in a way that felt authentic to who I was with what we're creating. And he's like, I can't make any promises, but yeah, email my team and we'll see how it goes. So we have a tentative date we're looking for. And it just feels amazing being able to step into this space of seeing things organize and have the universe support us in what we're doing for our creation. There was also one more part that I have been working on manifesting something in my family for my son. And I was looking for a mentor for him. During that event, we were having these amazing connections and conversations. And we were having one of these conversations with someone that's looking to come into our community. And I just had this thought pop into my head of, hey, ask him about your son. So I did. And I just rolled off my tongue and I said, hey, would you be open to XYZ? And the intention that I had in my heart and what I was looking for. And the conversation kind of went on. And then a few minutes later, he brought it back up and he was like, hey, I think this would be what I need. So it's just amazing to me that this synchronicity shows up in a way that we can truly create win-win relationships. When you get into this stage 3 and stage 4 of your journey, when you are empowered and you are creating the result that you desire, the more and more you focus on what you want to create, you imagine it on purpose, you do your brain training, you do the way that you're intentionally focusing on creating that imagined desired result every day. I have seen the universe shift around us to be able to make all these things become possible. So if you are putting in effort for your business, if you are not yet seeing results, I invite you to use the power of your mind to shift away from what you don't want. Imagine the desired result you do want on purpose. Every day, imagine it again and again in your daily practice of meditation. And if you don't yet have a daily practice of meditation, I invite you to join our community and consider becoming a part of the Kokoro community, because we are a community of powerful creators and we are intentionally imagining the results that we want as a community and supporting each other. You can begin your journey at biohackyourmindset.com. We have an abundance quiz and you can do that quiz to find out what stage of the journey you are in. Looking forward to connecting with you. All right, sit back, relax. Let's begin today as we close our eyes all the way down, breathing deeply and slowly. Feel the breath coming into your body as you witness it and become more aware of how your body feels as the breath moves through you. Begin today by rolling your shoulders backwards as you bring them up toward your ears, increasing the intensity, and then drop them down and relax as you feel that stress roll out of your body. Breathe in deeply as you feel that stress release from every cell of your body, releasing the exhaust, releasing the stress. Breathe deeply and slowly as you witness and are aware more and more of your breath, of the sound, of the feel. Slow down in your mind and your thoughts as you become more still and more present in this present moment. Let the world around you fade away deeper and deeper into the background as you feel the breath moving through you, almost as if there were a waterfall of light flowing in through the top of your head. And with each breath, breathe in that light as you invite the light to pour through your body. See that light pouring through you in a color that you love. And perhaps that color changes and shimmers and shines and glows in just the way that brings light to your mind as it flows through your body. Breathe in the light as you see it flowing in through the top of your head, flowing down through your mind, flowing down your neck, down your shoulders, down into your chest, down into your stomach, down through your hips and your legs, and out the bottoms of your feet. And as you breathe deeply and slowly, feel the connection with your breath. Feel the connection with the light. And remember that our breath connects us to the center of the universe, where we are all connected to each other. Take a moment to feel that sense of connection with others that you love, others who love you, others who are on the journey that you are on. The journey of self-awareness, the journey of recognizing those heavy things inside of you, recognizing them and removing them. Feel that light as you breathe deeply and slowly, and allow the light to flow into the areas of your body where you might recognize stress or tension, where those built up energies might even still remain in your muscles, even perhaps from hidden memories, memories hidden from your conscious mind, memories that are stored in your body, unknowingly, unaware to your conscious mind. Recognize the intelligence in your body, the intelligence of every single cell of your body. Allow the awareness in your body to increase, and imagine that light flowing directly to those places in your body that hold any trapped energy or stress or tension. And imagine that light as it swirls directly to those places where you need it to go most. And perhaps you see the light changing itself in color, in its state, even as it changes from a liquid to a gas or a solid. As the light goes to that area of your body where you feel that stress, as it flows in, around, and through, cleansing that area, bringing an awareness from the depths of your subconscious mind. Even as you perhaps imagine what this shape in your body might look like if this stress were contained within itself. Perhaps it is connected to a memory or an emotion. Perhaps as you look into the depths of what remains, what is held or trapped there, you might feel intense pressure. You might feel anxious. You might notice thoughts of sabotage or feelings of being an imposter. Allow these feelings to come to your awareness as you sense them, even in between this state of awake and asleep. This place that is between, this place of relaxation, where you can get answers from your subconscious mind. Allow this awareness to flow through you as you seek answers and direction from your inner wisdom, so you can recognize what is trying to pull you down, to recognize what is trying to keep you from success, from feeling control, from feeling the way that you desire to feel as you create with your higher power what you desire to create in the outside world. Set your intention today to get inspiration and direction from your inner wisdom as you ask questions within yourself that will guide you to the answers that will support you to open up the way so that you can take your next step forward, feeling successful, feeling powerful, knowing what you can choose, even feeling surrender to recognize where the universe is supporting you, trusting that it is bringing to you and co-creating with you exactly what you desire. Allow your mind to focus on your desired result, as if there were a laser beam coming out of your forehead. Imagine that laser beam focusing on your desired outcome, noticing with intense clarity what you desire to create. In just a moment, I'll count you down from 5 to 1, where you can go down into your safe place and imagine more and more this space opening up to you, the space of your desired outcome, to imagine with more and more vivid detail, to see, to hear, to smell, and to taste. Feel the emotions in your body and feel it real in the present moment. Because the more and more you feel that you are experiencing your desired outcome, the more you will be able to program and feel this in your body, because the mind does not know the difference between an imagined experience and a real one. So today, as you imagine your desired result, allow yourself to recognize what you desire to remove and release, and what you desire to replace and reimagine. You can go deeper and deeper into that which you desire as you choose the programs in your mind through the images and the words and the emotions that create your inner world. Take a nice, deep, letting go breath. 5. As you imagine going down to your safe place, as you feel that melting wave of relaxation flow down over your scalp, your eyes, your forehead, sinking into the velvety darkness behind your eyes. As you relax your face, all the muscles, and the muscles in your jaw, as you put space between your teeth, sending a message to your subconscious mind that you are safe. 4. Feel that melting wave of relaxation sink deeper and deeper into all the muscles in your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, as perhaps you might imagine and see butter melting in the microwave, becoming limp and loose and relaxed, as you feel your body relaxing down deeper and deeper, going into your safe place, that place where your mind can open up and expand, where you can choose to imagine with deeper intensity, with more and more power, your desired result. 3. Melting down in relaxation more and more into your stomach, into your pelvis. Feel the melting wave of relaxation as it continues to go down your legs and all the way out to the bottoms of your feet, connecting you down into the center of the earth, where you are connected between the center of the universe and the center of the earth, where you can release and let go of all those things that are no longer serving you, where all that is not supporting you can be transformed into that which will become for your highest and greatest good. 2. Relaxing deeper and deeper as you go down into your safe place. And 1. Stepping over that threshold as you go into your own special world, the world where you are the creator and you can choose the thoughts, the images, the emotions, so that you can focus more intensely, more deeply on your desired result, and notice anything that is in your way, that is pulling you down, any thoughts or emotions that are distracting you from creating the results that you desire. Take a moment now to activate your visualization, to even imagine that you are in a lucid dream where you can control your experiences. Imagine a place where you feel free, where you feel in control, where you feel successful. Let the circumstances unfold before you as you imagine your surroundings in your safe place that allow you to feel the way that you desire to feel about your desired outcome. And you don't have to yet see the details of what it looks like in the outcome, but simply notice how you feel in your body. Notice how it feels to trust, how it feels to be successful, to feel in control of those things that you can choose, to notice the power that you have as you choose integrity. You choose to have that deeper commitment in your heart, following through with your commitments. Notice how it feels in your body when you trust in those quiet moments, when you are present and still, and you witness your own breath, almost as if you're in the Matrix, and you can slow down the world around you, choosing to shift the reality. Notice how it feels in your body. Connect now with your higher power as you reach out with your heart, sending up your desires to share your desired outcome, and even to ask for the power to co-create your desired results. Feel that power as you ask in trust, knowing that your higher power desires to co-create with you, that the universe desires to support you, to bring you all those things that will help you to be successful, to live your purpose, to rise to a higher level. As you increase your vibration, as you become more and more in alignment with who you truly are. Take a moment now while I am silent to send your desires with your whole heart, deepening your desire more and more, increasing the intensity to share with your higher power what you desire and why you desire it. Very, very good. Now take a moment to connect with that future you, with your higher self, the one that you are becoming. As I count down from 3 to 1, see your higher self before you. as you see that person that you are becoming, that person who has already become that eternal part of you that knows your full potential, that knows who you truly are. 3, going even deeper. 2, trusting what comes. And 1. Connect now with that higher self and see the full potential, observing how they look to you. Notice their stature, the strength of how they stand. See their body language. Notice that their shoulders are back and the chin is up and the eyes are so clear, so determined and focused on the desired result. See the clarity of their mind as they focus on that desired outcome. Notice that they are certain and confident that this outcome is coming, that the results are on their way, that there is not a question of if, but only a matter of when. They feel complete divine alignment, feeling confidence, knowing that they are living their purpose. See the clarity of their mind, the confidence in their heart, the power in their body. And now take yourself to a moment where you will be able to take your next step and become one with your higher self. As you bring them with you, as you feel that power within yourself, as you feel that clarity of mind, focusing on your desired results. Feel as if that laser beam is coming out of your forehead, so clear, so strong, knowing exactly what you desire to create. Take time now to visualize that desired outcome as you imagine taking the action step that is before you. Imagine the results that it will create. See yourself going through the steps one by one as you feel the way that you desire to feel about yourself. Say those words to yourself out loud, speaking to your conscious mind as you say the truth about who you really are. And as you see yourself going through the action steps, feel in your body the emotions that this outcome will allow you to experience. Notice that feeling of success, accomplishment, and victory. Knowing that you overcame everything that was stopping you, and that you are unstoppable. Feel that power surging through your body, knowing who you truly are, that you are co-creating with the Master Creator. And notice as you stand in this power, feeling it flow in through the top of your head, all the way through your body, and out through the bottoms of your feet, that you can trust yourself. That you can trust yourself to be you. That you can let go of all the fears, all the lies that are trying to pull you down. As you remember who you truly are. Allow yourself to trust results are coming as you let go of when. You let go of the demands and expectations, the timing, and simply trust that as you give your desire to the universe and co-create with your higher power, that synchronicities will start to show up for you, that you will see the hand of the universe interweaving all of your circumstances, that everything becomes transformed for your greatest and highest good. Feel this power flow through you as you listen to the sound of your breath, as you hold on to the intensity of the emotion of what you are creating, remembering why you desire to create it, remembering who you truly are, focusing with more and more intensity on your desired outcome. Breathe deeply and slowly as I count you down from 5 to 1. As you continue to imagine with more and more vivid clarity, to see what you are creating, to hear what it sounds like, to feel it in the present moment, to notice how it smells, even to notice how that desired outcome tastes, and how it feels in your body. Continue to repeat to yourself over and over as you allow these emotions and thoughts and words to flow through your body. Allow them to absorb deeper and deeper into your muscles as you help your body to feel safe in this desired outcome, knowing that it is who you are and it is what you are born to create. 5. Feel the light flow in through the top of your head, flowing all the way through your body as it sinks deeper and deeper into your muscles, pushing out any stress, pushing out any doubt, any fear. Feel that power grow bigger and deeper within you. 4. As you relax deeper and deeper, seeing with more clarity, feeling with more intensity, feeling in your body what you are creating. 3. Setting your intention to wake as soon as you are ready. Breathing deeply and slowly, allowing yourself to absorb more and more in this desired outcome. 2. As you send your desires to your higher power, co-creating in synchronicity. And 1. Relaxing even deeper. Remembering that I am so proud of you. With love, Pennie. Awesome. Okay, so I love that we were able to find each other with like a common group that we were involved in, and that's kind of how we connected and met. And I love that that was part of our story. And I know that you told me a little bit before, like why you connected, but I definitely want to dig into that more today. So, what do you feel like was the biggest challenge that you were facing before we started working together?
My biggest challenge was uncertainty. I had so many goals and just ideas and things I wanted to do, but I just was having such a hard time taking that first step. I was just so uncertain about what to do. And I would get overwhelmed by the big picture of just, here's where I want to be, here's where I am now. There's this big gap.
Yeah.
How do I get from here to there? So that was my biggest struggle.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you were facing a lot of uncertainty and you had a lot of dreams and desires. And I know that you have a business that you're working on. So when it comes to that business and where you want to go, where did you feel like that gap was as far as the uncertainty? What was stopping you from taking action and going forward?
So my idea, my business, well, my brand name is Martha Moves Up. That was my life theme I chose when I was 49. And so from that, I developed kind of a card set with focus words, positive words with quotes and affirmations to help people change their mindset, to create new thoughts, to help them just um, refocus their minds. So I had the card set. That was part of my um, joy, I guess. I really enjoyed creating them. So I created the card set. I found someone to print it. I had the box made. All was well. My problem was getting it out there. I needed a website, and I hired a couple of different people to try to help me, and our visions were not corresponding, and it was just taking a really long time. But technology was just, it was a big obstacle. And so I needed to just do some learning, some research, and just take that step and kind of take the power and the control back to my own, um, I guess, sphere. So I could create what I wanted to create, but I was just so afraid. I just didn't have that confidence to move forward. So that's where I was. I was just, stuck. I knew I had a voice. I knew I needed to reach other people in order for them to see what I was all about and what I wanted to share with the world. But I was just very afraid and scared of technology. And so I just felt really stuck, uncertain, overwhelmed,
Right.
all those
Yeah.
negative emotions that were not useful at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it so interesting that, like, when we look forward to the future and we think about doing something we haven't done before, it's like our brains don't have a road to go down, so we haven't imagined it.
Yes.
And I know one of the things that we focus on in the program is actually imagining those steps and visualizing what it looks like to take that next baby step. So, what was it that helped you to shift from that uncertainty into being able to take action?
So two things. The first one was our very first session when you just created that visual image for me that had the darkness and the light. And we just went through all of my emotions. It was so helpful. I don't know why I had never done that before, but it was so helpful just to make the list of all the negative emotions on the dark side, but everything I didn't want, but I was currently feeling. And then just on the light to put what I wanted. And I had never really taken the time to even decide or think about what I wanted, even though I probably knew that in the back of my mind, but I was so focused on the darkness and what I couldn't do that I wasn't even allowing any light to come in. And that visual was so helpful also because there was a little bit of light at the bottom of the darkness and then it gradually, gets brighter. And so it helped kind of put it into perspective too. We don't necessarily need to go from dark to bright light even. You can start with this little glimmer of a little flame right here and take that and just expand it, learn, let it warm your soul as you allow more light to come in. So that visual was the very first thing that was very, very helpful, just to put into perspective of what I didn't want, what I wanted. Those two things, just that I had a choice also to choose. Do I want this? No, I can choose this. And then I mean, getting there was still kind of in the, I still had uncertainty, which leads me to my next point. The next breakthrough was, I don't know how long ago this was, but it was a hypnotherapy session where you talked about negative emotions being like employees. And so it was time to interview the employee that I had in my mind, and her name was Uncertainty. And it was so fun because my mind is very visual. And as you speak, my mind creates these very detailed stories and images. And I have just enjoyed that so much because I am a very visual learner. And so I'm having this own little movie in my brain, It's so fun. So that day, I was the CEO of my company and I invited Uncertainty into my office. And also, what I loved about it is you told me I didn't have to fire her because I'm also kind of a people pleaser. So I didn't have to fire her. I just had to give her a new role. And that felt so peaceful and so positive to me because I want to empower and help people be their best. And so in my mind, my uncertainty employee, even though she was not doing her job, I couldn't fire her. So I just had a little interview with her and I just told her in my mind while you were talking, I just told her, you've been here for a while and what you're doing is not useful. And I don't need you to do that anymore. What I need you to do is to take action. I need you to change your role. We're going to change your role together, and we're going to give you something to do that will be more useful and productive and contribute to my team and help me reach my goals and where I want to be. And in my mind, it was so awesome because at first, I'll just share kind of my vision, but first, when Uncertainty came into my office, she was very shameful. Her head was down. She just felt bad. I felt bad. Both of us, you feel the negative emotion in the room. And then as I told her that she was going to receive a new role, her chin lifted, her face lifted. She was so, I guess the word is empowered. She felt like, hooray, now I have something I can actually do that'll be contribute to, you know, what my boss wants me to do. And of course, the boss was happy too, which is me. I hope this is making sense.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so at the end of our meeting, my meeting with Uncertainty, we shook hands. She was smiling, I was smiling. And it was very empowering because then I didn't need uncertainty anymore. And I have used that so much since that day of just that visual. It came to my mind because every time even think the words, well, I don't know what to do, I just immediately go to, well, I don't need that. I don't need uncertainty. Let's take a baby step. Let's find something, one little thing that we can do today that will move us toward where we want to be. And so that was such a big thing for me and has been and will continue to be. I just feel like that's a tool I'll use the rest of my life is
I love it.
I don't need uncertainty. What I need is action.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. I love it. And with the 6 week meditation program, right? We talk about that as one of the key types of sessions. How do we take that role and how do we give them a new job? So I love that that was part of that. And I also hear you saying one of the new identity statements that you created. I remember that you said that you discovered coach was a part of your identity during that 6 week process. So I hear you saying in this, like, I didn't want to fire her. I want to empower her. I want to help her to grow and become the best she can. So, like, tell me more about what you've discovered about yourself through that process.
Okay, so I'll go into my I am statement. So
Yeah.
the word coach wasn't quite there, but it's very similar.
Okay.
So the three words that came were motivator, healer, and guide.
Ah,
And I added some adjectives to them. So now I am a courageous motivator, compassionate healer, and a friendly guide.
ah,
That's my statement. And to go into that just a little bit for a minute, the healer word I was very curious about because I did not understand what that meant. I didn't feel like I was a healer, and I was confused about that. But I wrote it down anyway because those are the three words, and I thought, let's just let that sit for a minute and
mm,
we'll pray about that and think about that and see what comes. A few days later, it was very early in the morning. I woke up with the definition, and the words came to my mind. You are a healer because you leave people better than you find them.
mm,
And oh, I just loved that. I just thought that was my desire, first of all, to leave people better than I find them. I love to speak with people. I love to give encouragement, listen to their stories, share my own insights. So it made sense to me, but just having that confirmation and that little bit of more detail and definition on what healer meant
mm.
was empowering. So now I am courageous motivator, a compassionate healer, and a friendly guide. And I love that I am statement. It just
Ah,
makes me feel so happy because it truly does resonate with who I feel like I am. So
exactly.
I really, really love that. Yeah.
Ah, that is so amazing. And especially on those hard days when in the past uncertainty would beat you up. And there's probably an identity of who you were in the past. And during that 6 week program, you were able to connect in with the truth of who you really are,
Yes.
truly
Yes.
finding that power. Go ahead.
And during that 6 week program too, I was really struggling with maybe the world's view of me
Mm,
and things that have been told or said about me, or just maybe even limiting beliefs that perhaps I just chose to kind of keep. And so I knew deep down who I was, but it was kind of a battle between who I knew I was and who the world was kind of trying to make me be.
mm,
And it was really clarifying to create that I am statement, to really form that alignment visually and verbally with my heart and my
mm.
mind. Both
Yes.
of those things with the I am statement. It's just, I feel so much more peace. I feel, um, what is I guess empowered is a word because now I do understand my true identity of who I really am. And it comes from me, but I also feel like it was a gift from heaven.
Mm,
I feel like the divine, you can call it whatever you want, but I believe in God and I really do know that he knows me and he'd been trying to teach me for a long time, but I just needed a guide such as Penny to help me create that statement,
mm,
to really form the visuals in my mind, to feel the feelings in my heart, and
mm.
have the words to all those three things really aligned. And so it's just been really amazing to feel that and feel that peace coming from within now.
Yeah.
Just who am I? I know who I am.
Mm, that is so
I love it.
precious. It's been such a joy being able to be on this journey with you. So, on that note, usually when I have had mentors and such in the past, it's been more of the authority type of mindset where they're giving me the answers. And one of the things that I really feel is my divine calling is to help others find the answers inside of themselves. So I really love that what you're saying aligns with that desire that I was able to feel inspired and create. And as I open up this space and create these, okay, we're not going to give you the answers, but I'm going to create this space for you to find those answers. So how do you feel like this program has been different than other things that you've experienced?
Like you just said, it really opened the door for me to find my own solutions, my own path, I suppose. You were a great guide, though. I needed your voice. I needed your words to help create the visuals and stories in my brain. So that's something I couldn't have done alone.
Mm.
But I also appreciated that we really didn't go a lot into like our problems and talk about past mistakes or anything like that. We really were focused on the future, which I think is very helpful. I mean, I think we need to give ourselves compassion and realize that mistakes are made, and the past isn't always pretty, but there's no point in going back and rehashing things that are done.
Yeah.
It's more powerful and I think more effective to focus on where do we want to go. And so you were very helpful in creating those doorways, opportunities. And that's what I felt like sometimes. I felt like you created kind of a choice of many doors.
Hmm.
And we can choose which door to open and explore the opportunities and learning experiences that were beyond those doors. And so often that's kind of what I felt like. I opened the door and then there was a whole story waiting for me, something new
Hmm.
that I needed to learn. Um, and it
Yeah.
was super powerful, those visuals, but I needed your voice and it was very helpful as a guide and
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
bringing light also into the story. I loved the beginning, how we bring light
Yes.
just into our bodies. And I feel like that is an invitation to expand our mind, expand our heart,
Hmm.
both to give and to receive.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And I feel super grateful that I've been able to use my gifts to be a voice for you. And honestly, when we show up together and I'm 100%, you're 100%, I really just feel like I'm an instrument. It's not me, it's not my words, but I just get to say whatever ideas come into my head and trust what comes. So it's such a
Yes.
privilege to be able to be in that place. So, just kind of wrapping up then, is there anything specifically that you feel like you wanted to share about your story? Anything that's on your mind and heart?
Well, I want to share just the one visual that was super powerful for, well, the second one, I guess. Uncertainty was the first one. The second one was when we talked about FUD, fear, uncertainty, discouragement, doubt, and dread. I loved that whole experience as you talked about a football team. And so, first of all, that's something we can all relate to is just the team members. And I just remember as you were talking, my brain created this really cool story. And so I had this team, and all the negative emotions were wearing black and they were mean. They just had these scary faces. And then we talked about the white team. And on my team, I had confidence, perseverance, hope, gratitude, all these positive experiences or positive emotions. My team leader was faith. And
Mhm.
as you were talking, and the team was starting to, kind of start to play, I suppose, and have their conflict. I was the coach on the side, and I was feeling a little bit of this uncertainty as far as, oh no, what's going to happen here? Who I don't know what to do. I'm not really sure. Then, of course, I took my uncertainty and said, we don't need that. Let's take some action, team. So I just kind of gave, I guess, the reins to my team leader, who was Faith. And
Ah.
in my mind, my team leader, Faith, she rose, like literally her clothes were white and glowing and flowing. And she rose above and kind of looked at both ways, looked at her team, and there was a sense of courage and empowerment, and we can do this. And then they turned and looked at the black team, and that black team cowered. Literally, they all were like just cowering. And this Faith girl, she was so amazing. She just got, I don't know, the smile and her glowing and her clothes flowing, all of it. Anyway, it was so powerful just knowing that faith is the key to moving forward. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the future that good things are there and to come. But you're not alone. That was the other thing I felt strongly too, is there's this team of positive emotions and I am in control. I can choose those positive emotions to overcome that negative black team of, fear, uncertainty, discouragement, doubt, and dread. They don't need to win. They're
Mm.
still on the field. They will always be there. But my powerful team with my team leader, Faith, they're more powerful.
I love it.
They can push back and they can help me move forward toward the goal. And anyway, that visual of that girl, Faith, as I speak, I just feel this power of this girl.
Hmm.
Oh, it was just
Hmm.
so cool for me to
Yeah.
just visualize and see. And so it was fun. I remember writing down so fast while you
Mm.
were writing, or you were speaking, and I was writing all my what I was seeing in my mind too, because I didn't want to forget because I really felt it so strongly in my heart. And I remember after it was over, even after the session was completed, I sent you that text because I wanted you to know there wasn't time for me to tell you at the end. So I had to just tell you what I had experienced because it was just really cool.
I love it. Absolutely. And it's so amazing how that shows up in very real life every day when we face our challenges and we face our fears and we're on the field and we're like, okay, I need to take this one next step forward, but fear is trying to beat me up and tackle me down. And what's going to oppose that? Faith and all of the positive emotions. So that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And with that
So,
too, I think the
yeah.
key, I guess, to moving toward that goal, I realized too, is it's not one big play that pushes you into the end zone either.
Mhm.
There's small plays, it's baby steps.
Yeah.
So it's even though she had risen up and that I had my team in place and we were ready to make progress, it's slow progress a lot of times, but it
Mhm.
is progress. And you can celebrate those wins along the way. And I love that too. It gives permission to take those baby steps and take your time, and it doesn't have to be all one big jump. And most likely, I mean, almost always, it's not one big jump. It is a series of very small little steps, but those are action steps, and
Yep.
that's what I need. That's what I need to
Absolutely.
make, progress and
Yep.
move closer to where I want to be and the life I want to create. So,
Yep, and that's what we do every week in our live session. We
yep,
focus on those three key focuses. That's so
yep,
cool. Love
yep.
it. Okay, so I truly believe that there's someone out there that is an old Martha, that past you, not old, that's not the right word.
I know what you meant.
Your voice is needed to speak to that past version of you. So I want you to just take a minute to look right at the camera, talk to that old Martha, and what do you want to tell that past version of you?
You are stronger than what you think. You have inside you the power to create the life that you want. You can do it. You just take one step at a time, and eventually you will get to be where you want to be. Look for those who can help you along the way, and look for others you can help along the way too. And it may take a while, it may take a lifetime, but you will be who you are meant to be, and you'll become who you're meant to become, and you will reach and touch those who need you most. So keep going. You can do it.
Thank you so much, Martha. It is such a joy working with you. I love being beside you and walking together. You are amazing, and I love seeing the ways that you've grown and being a part of your victory. It's truly
Thank you, Penny.
a grateful blessing. Awesome.
You are a blessing in my life too. I'm just so grateful for this journey and all the things that you've taught me. I have learned so much. I just very grateful.
What a joy. Awesome. Okay. Well, that concludes our interview today. Anything else you want to say off the record? I appreciate you very much.
Well, I appreciate you too. And I'm, on the problem solving course,
Mm,
the very end, you talked about kind of your vision for your whole program and things.
mm.
And I do want to be a part of it. I'm not sure how and when, but I am keeping that in the back of my mind. One day when you were speaking, I just remember hearing follow Penny. So we'll see what that means and how it goes
Yep.
and how it plays out. But
Yep.
here I
Trust what
am.
comes. It'll be
Yep, here
there.
I am.
I will
Yeah.
just, if that's a joy. I'm glad that that's definitely part of my hope as well, that there's a place and we're like finding out how to coach together or like I use the word coach, but for you,
Yeah.
what does that look like? The win-win of what I want and you want and what we feel guided to do together. So really creating that collaboration and
Yeah.
finding that joy. So that's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm
Awesome.
looking forward
Okay.
to that.
Thank you, Penny.
Okay, thank you, Martha. Have a beautiful day.
You too.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.